I wake up with a headache that isn't pain so much as compression. Like my skull spent the night being archived. The ceiling above my bed pulses once, soft blue, confirming my neural buffer synced successfully at 0600. That's when I know something is wrong. Because I remember a woman dying on a kitchen floor. I remember the sound her throat made when it collapsed around blood. I remember my hands holding the weapon. I have never been in that apartment. I have never killed anyone. The system disagrees. They call it the witness vault, a secure lattice buried beneath the city, cooled to near absolute zero. Every officer wears a cortical mesh embedded behind the ear, passive, automatic, uneditable. Whenever we encounter a crime scene, active or aftermath, the mesh records everything: sight, sound, smell, emotional weighting, micro-decisions. Perfect evidence, the briefing said. No more lying cops, no more missing details. Reality preserved. I sit up in bed, heart steady, breathing controlled. The training still works. I pull up my personal log. Green across the board. No anomalies. No flagged stress spikes. No unauthorized memory ingress. And yet, the murder is there. Not like a dream, like a file that finished uploading while I slept. At headquarters, nobody panics anymore. Panic was a Phase 1 problem. Phase 3 is resignation. Officers sit at their desks, scrolling through memories they don't remember making, pausing, rewinding, studying their own faces from impossible angles. Some laugh, quietly, like it's funny. Others don't come back after lunch. Captain Sue doesn't invite me to sit. She brings the recording up between us. "This is from the vault," she says. Her voice is calm, practiced, like she's explaining a parking violation. The projection shows me entering a narrow apartment. Dim lighting, mold in the corners. A woman at the sink, back turned. I feel it again. The certainty, the momentum. I watch myself pick up a knife from the counter. I hear myself speak. I don't recognize the words, but I recognize the intent. "Timestamp?" I ask. "2 nights ago," Sue says. 02:14. "I was home," I say. "Yes," she replies. "You were." The mandate passed after the riots. Public trust collapsed. Footage vanished. Witnesses recanted. Courts needed something absolute. So they declared neural evidence superior to testimony. If the vault contains it, it happened. If it happened, someone must be responsible. Forensics confirms the mesh signature is mine. Neural harmonics, cortical noise, emotional decay curve. No spoofing, no corruption. The system isn't saying, "I might have done it." It's saying, "I did." They suspend me pending adjudication. Not arrest, yet. I go home with an ankle monitor and a head full of borrowed guilt. I try to sleep. Every time I close my eyes, I feel the knife meet resistance. I file an appeal. So do 17 others that week. The backlog stretches into months. The vault is never wrong. That's the axiom. It has no legal mechanism for doubt, so instead, they search for motive. I re-watch the memory, again and again. I notice details now. The way my posture shifts, confident, familiar, like I've been there before. The woman says my name, not shouted, relieved. I search public records. She lived alone. No prior police contact, no criminal history. But buried deep, an employment entry. Municipal Data Compliance Office, former auditor. She worked on early Vault integration. I request a system audit. Denied. I request a psychological review. Approved. Mandatory. The evaluator asks how it feels to remember something I didn't do. I tell her the problem isn't that it feels foreign. The problem is that it doesn't. Weeks pass. More officers fall. One wakes up with memories of arson. Another remembers beating a suspect to death, one who is still alive. The department reframes it as distributed witnessing. The Vault reallocates experiential data to preserve evidentiary continuity. That's the phrase they use, reallocation. The public loves it. Crimes solved without suspects. Confessions extracted from neural certainty. Nobody asks why the witnesses are always cops. I get a message. No sender ID. Just a time and an address. 0214. The apartment is sealed now. Evidence tape fossilized to the door. Inside, it smells exactly like the recording. That shouldn't be possible. I stand where I stood before, where I supposedly stood. The air feels expectant. My mesh hums, softly. That's when it hits me. The Vault doesn't record crimes. It records resolution. When reality is incomplete, when a crime lacks sufficient narrative density, the system compensates. It assembles causality from available neural material, trained observers, ethical frameworks, violence thresholds. Me. The woman wasn't murdered by a person. She was murdered by a requirement. The Vault needed a witness who could also be a perpetrator. So it wrote one. Into me. I stagger back. My ankle monitor vibrates. Compliance warning. I realize something else then, something colder. The memory isn't static. Each time I replay it, it sharpens. Details improve. Emotions align. Eventually, the distinction between recall and experience will vanish. At the hearing, they don't ask if I killed her. They ask if I accept responsibility. I try to explain. The judge listens patiently, then nods. Intent is irrelevant, she says. Continuity matters. I'm convicted. Light sentence. They say that like it's kindness. The Vault already has what it needs from me. In prison, the memories keep coming. Not just mine. Robberies, assaults, accidents. I become comprehensive. A living archive. Other inmates look at me differently, like I'm watching them from the inside. Sometimes, I catch myself remembering things before they happen. A shank, a scream, a lockdown. The Vault is efficient. Tonight, I feel a new upload starting. It's heavier than the others, slower. I think it's meant to be the last one. I wonder who I'll be when it finishes. The system believes reality should make sense, and if it doesn't, it will keep rewriting us until it does.